skydiving facility, and my boyfriend's mother, who had her 75th birthday, wanted to do that, so that's what we did. It was cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
I don't know why I'm all on mute, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you don't have video either, Danielle.
How strange. Okay. I'm talking and no one can hear me. That was awesome. Tell me more about that. You did. That was awesome. I've been wanting to do that. I hear that's phenomenal.
I think I could probably do indoor skydiving. I just have no interest in doing true skydiving.
Well, Luke and I went outdoor skydiving once, and that was fun. That was
No,
cool.
thank you. No, thank you.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, we so need to do that again.
Instead of 10,000, 12,000
Ooh,
or 15,000 higher.
higher. I love it. Let's go to the skies. Well, we are in the sky. Let's seek new heights. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's get into an awesome motivating morning Zoom. So let me share my screen and share the video that I got for us today. We got our tried and true. We all love this man.
Let me ask you a question. Right now, what are you grateful for? And at the lunch, I said, jack shit, nothing, brother. Let me ask you a question. Right now, what are you grateful for? And at the lunch, I said, jack shit, nothing, brother. There's nothing good in my life right now. And I'm not exaggerating this to you when I tell you this, and this is a factual story. As I'm mouthing these words, two people walked in with an older man. Both of them clearly were fighting cancer somehow. Both had lost their hair. One lady's had them, and they were barely moving in. Both walked by our table and gave me the most warm greeting, the warmest smile as a stranger. And he goes, "That's pretty freaking pathetic. You can't find anything in your life to be grateful for right now." And on the drive home, I'm not kidding you, I started to stack gratitude. I started to take inventory. Because if you can find things to be grateful for in that space, man, is your life going to be rich when there really are external things to be grateful for. So my first mechanism out of that space was honestly to stack the things I was grateful for, and I started reinforcing it over and over and over again. And what happens is there's this reticular activating system in our brains. And all of a sudden, because that's the messaging I was giving myself, all of a sudden, all these things start to come into my awareness that I'm grateful for. I start to magnetize to myself some people that I needed to find into my life, and that was the next layer. I started to see things to be grateful for, my health, my fitness, people who loved me. And what it did is it changed my state. When I stacked gratitude, I changed what I did in the morning, and I changed what I did in the evening. And so somehow by grabbing control of my morning, and by grabbing control of my evening, I got some measure of control over the middle of my day. I was an out of control person back in those days, meaning this: I was worried, stressed, fearful, and I immediately start thinking about a bill I had to pay, something that was wrong, and I'm in a state of reaction to begin. I'm talking within 6 minutes of waking up, 6 seconds. Most people listening to this, that's what they do. I said, I got to grab control of my morning, and I set up routines in my morning. Maybe they served me, maybe they didn't, but they were things I could deliver on doing for myself. And so not only did that give me control of the day, but I started to stack my self-confidence too.
And what were some of those things that you grabbed onto?
Huge. So my morning routines are really detailed. I get up and I hydrate. The second thing I do every morning is I do something cold. So whether that's I jump in the ocean, because now I live in the ocean, but in those days it was taking a cold shower or splashing some cold water in my face or walking out when it was cold. It shocks our nervous system. Our fight or flight kicks in. We're in a cellular, electric alive state. I obviously do some prayer and meditation every single morning. I've still not touched my telephone. So there's a rule. There's 30 minutes I cannot touch my telephone when I wake up. That's the hardest thing to do in the world and the thing that could benefit you the most, because what's ever on that phone, you have to react to. And typically it's stuff that's not great. So I don't touch that. I do my meditation and my prayer, and I do some stretching. I do some breathing exercises, and then at that point, I allow myself to enter the world after I've got my state controlled. And I work out every morning, except for Sundays. I work out every morning.
And every time somebody asks me a question about, how do I'm lost, I feel, completely out of control, I don't have confidence, my answer is workout.
Me too.
So why?
There's a correlation between the way you move your body and your emotions. They're directly, this is even before we get to dopamine hits and our nervous system being, I'm just telling you that the way you move your body is an emotion. You do emotions. And so when you move your body, you can't be in full workout mode, moving your body, running, walking, jumping jacks, jump rope, and be depressed. They don't go together simultaneously because your body doesn't get the connection. I'm moving like I'm joyful. I'm moving like I'm having sex. I'm moving like I'm happy. These are all joyful states. You can't be depressed simultaneously. So the quickest way to change our behavior, our emotions, and our state is with our body.
Sharing. So what did y'all hear from that? Tell me what your thoughts.
I have one.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Come on.
You mean besides the joyful with the sex? Okay, so I just want to make you all laugh. So I'm grateful every day I wake up and I see where I am. The home, the palm trees. I'm living my life, and everybody knows that, New Jersey. But here's the kicker. We had our dream home in 2001. And so for 15 years, that was our forever home. It was a brand new, gorgeous center hall colonial. And I get a call while I was teaching that it was burning down. And my husband got out. My 2 kids got out. We got the dogs out. We had the clothes on our back. I get to the house after the police chief calls me at the school and says, Sylvia, you better get home. We had nothing, absolutely nothing. My son even walked out in his shorts that didn't even fit him. You know, when you sleep in certain clothes that you have, right, that don't fit. And he's out on the street without any shoes on, any flip-flops. Neighbors are coming out. But here's the bottom line. We were at the Marriott, and that's where we were put. And when we got in there, the TV was on. And we were all crying and huddling together. My family made it out of the house. And they're like, what the hell? Oh my God, what are we going to do? And the TV's on, and there you see the Syrian refugees climbing through mountains with backpacks, and that's all they had. And I looked at my family and I said, look, we're in a hotel. We have beds. We're okay. You know, we'll get through this. So every time I hear a motivational video like that about gratitude, I have that every day, that I have my family and that we got out of that situation and we built our lives back. You can always build your life back. So thank you for listening.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. What else did someone hear from the video this morning?
How important exercise is, and I can attest to that because
Yeah,
I've
more Cheryl.
forever, ever. I was the kid that couldn't sit still in school, so I was super involved in athletics.
Mhm.
And just recently, I tweaked a knee because there's no cartilage left in it. But I keep going. It's like I do something. I can't do the sports I used to do because of injuries, but I just keep going, and it makes me feel wonderful. And I really encourage anybody who doesn't think they like exercising, just find something to move your body. Like they said, it's just so good for your brain.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, I really love the positive movement helps everything in you, right? Luz, you had something to share? Or I can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you guys start every single morning. Tell us something good. And sometimes we have so much trouble to find something good when just the sole fact that we are connected and we're breathing and we have a device to get inside of these conversations. And a lot of people don't have that, period.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people like the campers and that they don't have that, where you wake up in a nice comfy bed and those we don't think that's important. We feel like it's okay, we just sleep, but we wake up in a place that we call home, and just that, for me, that is one of the most amazing blessings in the world. So thankful is not to something extremely new. It's just be grateful for everything that you have every single day, and you think it's okay because you work hard. Yes, we work hard, but it's not for granted. Like, we can have the same situation that happened to her and lose our home, and then we are like the campers. But it's just, it's very difficult for people to understand what is a blessing, and we are all so freaking blessed that we will never recognize that. And sorry, I get emotional.
No, I love that. Thank you for sharing. And, I love how Ed Milet said, you know, he wasn't able to find something grateful. And how many times do we come on this here, like you said, or in other ways, and we say, tell us something good, something grateful. And the first thing we think about is, oh God, all the things that we have going on that we don't feel is of gratitude. And what kind of state that put us the rest of the day when he says the first thing in the morning he does is he started counting all the things he's grateful for. And before he knows it, he has so many things. And then what I also loved is he doesn't touch his phone for the first 30 minutes of the day. And because he allows himself to control his morning, not the phone, or not whatever comes through the phone. And how many of us, at first, I mean, I love that how he was like the first couple of seconds, he's thinking about all the things, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to get up to do this, A, B, C, D. And now he flipped it and he controlled his morning so that way that energy can manifest itself throughout the day. And he's able to tackle successfully all the things that the world comes at him, but he's able to remind her within gratitude all things are possible. What else does someone have to share that they got through this?
I like that too. I like how he got up, he hydrated. I wasn't real thrilled about the getting cold shower and all that, but
I
hey,
know, right? I don't know if I'll do a cold shower, but hey, might drink some cold water.
right? Hydrate with cold water. And then he prays and meditates, and then when he's ready for the world to enter his life, you know what I mean? For the world to come to him, that's when he'll pick up his phone. But he protects himself first and makes sure he infuses himself with water, exercise, energy, positivity, right? And all the things, and gets himself centered and ready to handle the world. I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. Because as leaders in your families, leaders for your parents, your organizations that you're involved in, the clients that you meet today, everyone is asking us to show up at 100% and to give. And we can't give at our optimal if we don't give to ourselves first. And it was such a good reminder, give to yourself in the very first thing in the morning so you can be that 100% lean all in and be the person that you want to be and that everyone has expected you to be, because you have the capability of being that amazing person that you are, right, as a leader. So that's awesome. So thank you for sharing, everyone. Anyone else before we go on to our market update? I'll make sure I don't leave anyone out. No. And I will say, just a little side note. So for myself, I made a quick trip up back to Ohio, like left Saturday morning early, flew back this morning. And I was saying, no, my flight will not be delayed. No, my flight will not be delayed. And of course, my flight was delayed, right? My flight was delayed, didn't land here until 3 o'clock in the morning in Tampa, didn't get back here home until 5 o'clock this morning. And on the way back, I was like, man, I cannot believe my flight was late. I have all these things to do. I mean, Monday is just a packed day. Then all of a sudden when I got home, I was like, oh, but thank God my flight was only delayed, because it could have been worse. I could have been scrambling looking for another plane that comes in on, like, the next plane was going to come in on like Tuesday. Everything was booked on Monday. And just remember to be grateful for the better of the bad situations, because sometimes most things could get worse. I'm just grateful that it didn't, because, I'd rather be here in my apartment doing my morning calls than in my office like I usually am, but better than being here than being stuck in the airport doing that, right? So yeah, there's always gratitude in everything. So, all right. Going on, let me share my screen and show you what's going on in the market as soon as let me see this again. I don't know how to, I guess I should stop sharing the screen real quick because it won't let me get out of this. I think after all this time, I would have gotten a little bit quicker on getting everything ready. I get so caught up in what y'all are sharing. I don't. Okay, here we go. So here is our market between last week and the week previously. Now, remember, for those of you who are new on the call, what it's broken up into our counties. And then we have in the bold is what happened in the last 7 days. And these are all come from seller. And then in the right underneath it, those raw numbers is what's happening for the previous 7 days. This is a 2-week time lapse. And then you can see in the percentages is the percent change from 1 week from the previous week. So green means a percent change up, and you'll see what that percent change is in the box. And red is percent change down, and you'll see that in the box. And I will have to say, this is the first week I have seen more green than red. How about you, Rebecca? I was like, oh, okay.
So it's exciting. More new listings, and not in Sarasota County, but yeah, more new listings, price reductions across the board, pendings across the board. Expireds are down in Charlotte, but look at that, 80%, well, from 5 to 9, but still expireds in Manatee. But it looks like activity's starting to pick up a bit.
Yeah. So let me ask any of you, are any of these numbers reflective of your market that you work in with your business?
What are you guys seeing?
Yeah. I'm really curious right now because this is July, right? So this is the middle of the year. And I'm really curious because I've been hearing from various agents just conflicting, right? I have some people going, yeah, I'm getting listings and getting them under contract, and others like, I'm having listings sitting or my buyers aren't moving. And I'm really curious to hear what's been going on in your business this past week.
I find that cash buyers are ready to go and finance buyers are on the fence.
Okay. And Cheryl, tell me more about that. Why are the finance buyers are you finding on the fence? What are their objections or anxiety?
Well, it was I heard pivot shift call this answer to this philosophy folks have, but they're waiting for interest rates to go down. And I'll share because it was brilliant. And they said, what happened the last time interest rates were 3%? Prices went through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So which would you rather have? Would you rather have today's interest rates with a moderate priced home or 3% interest rate, which we know they won't have, at twice the value of the house or twice the price? So I thought that was a great response to the people that I'm going to give it a go.
Right.
Yeah, that is a great conversation piece. Thank you for sharing, Cheryl.
Absolutely. And one thing I heard on one of my coaching calls, I was in the same coaching program that Danielle's in right now, 30, 60, 90. And Matt Teeter had shared that he doesn't look at interest rates. I mean, he's always a buyer. He's always out there looking. He goes, I buy today, I win because values aren't skyrocketed. He goes, if interest rates go down, I win because he can refinance. If interest rates go up, he wins because he got the better interest rate. And values aren't going to tank, right? They may plateau, but if you're buying to stay in a property for a period of time, it's going to appreciate. So no matter what, a buyer in today's market wins.
Yep, that's really good feedback, Rebecca. Thank you. What else are y'all seeing here, or what are you feeling out in the streets?
So I had a lot of buyer activity in the last week. This weekend alone, Saturday, I showed 5 different clients and had 4 different offers. And that was probably the most activity I've had with buyers in about a month or so. My listings are definitely going through price reductions.
Mm-hmm.
So I can agree with that. But I was starting to get a little concerned that inventory was going to keep growing and because the buyers were sitting stagnant. And even though interest rates went up last week, the market itself, like the S&P and all of that, was doing extremely well. So anyone who was cash, I feel like was having a better outlook on the economy, right? But interestingly enough, all 4 of my buyers are loans. And some of them at a smaller price point who have been struggling for a while, but the inventory was just phenomenal this weekend for us. Probably the best we've seen in months, but seasonally, July is when we start picking up in our season. It starts from July and starts, increasing. So I would imagine we're going to see more of this throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah. So how do you prepare for the conversations, Lindsay, on for your buyers when it starts picking up and for your sellers? Like, what are some key takeaways that you're seeing?
I mean, the conversations really don't change for me. I just, for my buyers, I keep, encouraging them. I really do focus on the season, and I knew that June was going to be a rough month in the beginning of July, and was just getting them to stay holding on because they were starting to give up hope, right? And I'm like, inventory is down, it's been down, but it's going to keep increasing. We're going to start seeing things pick up. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened, right? I can't control the interest rates. That was the only negative for some of these buyers, is they did go up. Half of them are using the Hometown Hero program, so that was been great for them with the down payment. But for my sellers, it's just keeping our eye on the competition. Who's our competition? Keeping our fingers on the pulse, week to week, evaluating things, trying to stay competitive, and maintaining market, right? Because with inventory increasing, it's starting to get diluted. And so we just need to make sure we remain vigilant on that. And as soon as you start seeing activity go down, then you really need to reevaluate. Is it our marketing? What are they saying? It's the same conversations as it should always be, right? Nothing's really that different, in my opinion.
Well, that's good.
Yep. No, I agree. Completely agree.
Who else has something to share about their business, reflective, either positive, the same, differently from the numbers, or what's the takeaway that you're seeing from these numbers too, that you're able to utilize this week? Any perspective?
Bueller?
So I do see that there's still an increase in expireds. And when we're watching, I've been looking at the candle withdrawals, right? And I'm still seeing a lot of canceled and withdrawals, as well as expireds. Now, I know that here in Charlotte County this week, there was a drop in expireds. However, there was an increase last week in Charlotte County of expireds from the previous week. I do remember that. Withdrawn, I don't remember what was in Manatee. So it just shows that because of the price reductions that are increasing, there's probably even more opportunity to have conversations with sellers, because they weren't ready to either do a price reduction. Most likely they didn't have the right skilled local agent to guide them through the selling process. And they're not sure what to do, right? And you guys are equipped with knowing how to navigate this market, how to have conversations with these people, and thinking that, I always look at expireds, and I know Rebecca had a really good business with expireds and FSBOs on having real conversations. To me, expireds and FSBOs are like warm leads, because they want to sell. It's, like, obviously, like, they're here like, hey, I want my house sold. And then now they're sitting in a home that they've decided that they want to sell. Now they're sitting in it daily. They found out reasons why they want to sell, and they're sitting it daily in a house that they don't want anymore, So, I mean, how awesome is that now you have an opportunity to talk to them about how to sell a home, and then how, like, there's an increase in solds. And you can show every time there's an increase in price reductions, there's been an increase in solds. I think someone's going to say something. Was it Amr?
Yeah. To your point, Danielle, this price reduction is an indication several sellers that are stuck in the mindset of the last 2 years, and they don't want to go of the price and follow the market. And some of the agents doesn't do justice to their clients. I actually put an offer last week on a house The house was about $200,000 above market compared with all the comparable. And when I talked to the agent, and I told him, the comps doesn't support the price you guys are asking for. The house is 35 years old, nothing is done in it, roof is old, and the comps around it. And he's like, well, I used the comps from last 2 years and it's supporting. It was like, you can't use comps from last 2 years. What happened in 2021 is not an indication of what's happening now. It's like, no, that's what I used, and it's supporting the $950,000 we're asking. So it just is sometimes so difficult when you have agents that not really doing justice to their client and giving them the right what's the market is going through, and you try to help them, but I think that's indeed supporting what these numbers are. That's why we're seeing more price reduction or expires, because some sellers just doesn't want to reduce the price to what the market want to tell them.
Yep, 100%. There's a lot of sales agents out there, but not skilled.
I kind of want to also piggyback off of we have to remember too that I think some of these sellers, at least for me, when I go into a listing appointment, they're wanting like the shortest listing possible because they're still like it's going to sell quickly and there's no need. And so you have to get really good at your scripts at explaining why a longer contract is beneficial for them. Because I know 6 months ago, I was running into sellers and they were wanting like 3-month agreements. So are we seeing more expireds because we had agents who didn't know how to handle that, objection? Did they not realize that we're in a slower paced market? Like the average, like the median days on market in certain neighborhoods are like 45 days, and then you account for, closing time and all of this other stuff. So I feel like some of that is also, what kind of market were we in 6 months ago? Did it kind of seem like it was going to spike again? So, agents that weren't as informed or educated about the market were feeling like maybe there was an opportunity for them to price above market again. I don't know. So I try to sometimes look back at what was happening then to try to explain what's happening now. I overthink, I guess.
Well, I think that's excellent, being prepared to have the conversations. So, and to Amar's point and what you're saying, Lindsay, is that you can find the data anywhere if you search, back far enough to support whatever price, yet you need to find the true, correct, up-to-date data. Cheryl was like 2 years and was laughing
Right.
at the fact that they were going back 2 years to get comps on a house in 2023. When the
Right.
interest rates are different, the motivations are different, everything's different.
Everything is different from 2 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now it's 9:03. Great conversations, guys. We will be posting these on our internal Facebook pages for you to be able to post on your Facebook pages and to touch your database. Remember that when you do share, to share a story along with it, it's just numbers to the consumers. Explain really short what they should be seeing and correlate that story with, again, what you're hearing from your clients. If it's not, oh, I just want to buy a house, show people, like Lindsay's story about Home Heroes program and how you can buy a house. I'm sure lots of people here want to buy a house, but there might be feeling, like Cheryl said, with mortgage rates, like, how do I buy a house? What mortgage do I need to go into? Have that conversation, because I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want to buy a house, I just don't know how. And now they'll see your post with these numbers and going, oh, wait, she has a solution. Let me reach out to her, right? So use this as a mofer. All right. And we would love to hear between 9 and 11 is lead gen, 11 to 12 is follow up. So put in the chat or unmute how many conversations you intend to have today. And then how many also follow-up conversations you intend to have today. A goal that we like to have, that I've been recently working on adopting as a habit, is 10 new conversations and 10 follow-up conversations.
Oh, well, look at that. Great minds think alike.
Great minds. And where we got that, Rebecca?
Thanks. All right. So put your numbers in the chat or come off mute
It'll
and
be
say
a
out loud. And we will look forward to seeing you all 15. Great, Lou.
Awesome, Liz.
10 and 10. Awesome, Lindsay. And an
Lindsay, I
appointment.
really love your acronyms, girl. I love it. You make me laugh every time.
Catchy.
Oh my goodness. I know you guys like me. I might be thinking of something else. You might get this insecure girl a little bit less, even more insecure if I didn't know better. I'm just kidding. All right.
All right, you guys. Well, you guys have a fantastic Monday. Make it the best Monday this week. And we will see you all bright and early tomorrow.
All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great one. Win your day.